On the morning of November 3, 2016, Spartanburg County law enforcement officers stepped through the dense underbrush of a 95-acre property in rural Woodruff, South Carolina. The investigative team executes a search warrant for a missing couple, scanning the overgrown landscape for any signs of disturbed earth. A sharp, metallic banging sound pierces the quiet woods. The rhythmic noise draws the deputies toward a large green shipping container secured with a heavy-duty padlock. Approaching the thick metal doors, investigators shout to ask if anyone is inside. A muffled, desperate voice responds from the darkness, prompting officers to procure heavy bolt cutters to sever the lock. As the steel doors swing open into the sweltering heat, police flashlights illuminate 30-year-old Kala Brown bound by a heavy chain around her neck. She tells the stunned officers she has endured captivity for 2 months, naming a prominent local real estate agent as her tormentor. Before the nightmare consumes their lives, 30-year-old Kala Brown and 32-year-old Charlie Carver build a quiet, close-knit life together in Anderson, South Carolina. Anderson sits in the bustling upstate region, characterized by sprawling suburban developments and vast tracts of dense southern forest. Charlie stands out to his family as a soft-spoken, dependable man who navigated a difficult divorce. He finds a renewed sense of purpose and happiness after meeting Kala. Kala is a trusting, resilient woman who pieces together a living through sheer determination. She takes on various odd jobs to make ends meet, cleaning homes and assisting with property management across the county. The couple spends their weekends exploring the outdoors, seeking moments of peace away from the demands of their work. They share a small apartment filled with warmth and the comforting presence of Kala's beloved pet dog. Friends and neighbors view them as an ordinary couple striving for the American dream, pooling their meager resources to build a stable future. Their daily routines revolve around simple pleasures, evening dinners, and quiet conversations about their plans. They possess an infectious optimism, looking forward to creating a permanent home together. Neither of them recognizes the dark undercurrent hidden behind the lucrative employment opportunities in their local real estate market. During the summer of 2016, Kala accepts regular employment from Todd Kohlep. Kohlep operates as a successful, prolific real estate agent managing properties throughout the upstate region. He presents himself to the community as a wealthy, confident businessman running an independent firm. He hires local laborers to maintain his numerous properties, paying cash to clear brush and clean houses. To the surrounding town, Kohlep embodies the ultimate success story. A self-made professional who achieved wealth through sheer ambition. This polished veneer conceals a terrifying reality and a staggering failure of the justice system. Decades prior, a judge in Arizona sentenced Kohlep to 15 years in state prison for the brutal kidnapping and horrific assault of a 14-year-old girl in the year 1986. Despite this monstrous conviction, the system allowed him to walk free on parole in the year 2001. He relocated to South Carolina, slipping through the cracks of public awareness. He obtained a real estate license due to glaring administrative blind spots, utilizing his professional status to mask his predatory nature. He built a lucrative empire, hiding in plain sight among the very people he planned to target. His affluent public persona served as an impenetrable shield, blinding local residents to the predator operating right next door. The geographical distance between Kohlep's professional office and his private acquisitions plays a crucial role in his deception. He purchases a sprawling 95-acre plot in Woodruff, located miles away from the main town center. A chain-link fence topped with barbed wire encircles the vast property, isolating the dense timberland from the surrounding rural roads. The sheer size of the acreage ensures complete privacy, shielding the interior from curious neighbors and passing traffic. Kohlep informs Kala that he needs a team to clear overgrown brush and prepare the land for future development. Kalala views the brush-clearing job on this expansive property simply as a lucrative weekend opportunity to earn extra cash. She enlists Charlie to help her manage the heavy manual labor, eager to finish the task together. The couple plans the trip without any sense of impending danger, viewing Kolep as nothing more than a demanding but reliable boss. They prepare their tools and pack their vehicle, leaving their quiet apartment behind. Kala fills her dog's water bowl, expecting to return home before dusk. The couple drives toward the Woodruff property, crossing the county line into an isolated stretch of Densey pines. They drive straight into a calculated trap, orchestrated by a man who views human life as nothing more than an object to be collected. On the sweltering morning of August 31st, 2016, Kula and Charlie arrive at the sprawling Woodruff property. They park their vehicle near the heavy entrance gate, stepping out into the oppressive South Carolina heat. Kolep waits for them near the tree line, maintaining his usual professional demeanor to lower their defenses. Within hours, all communication from the young couple ceases entirely. Their mobile phones go dark, disconnecting from the local cellular towers. Evening approaches, and the quiet Anderson apartment remains empty. Kala's beloved dog paces the floor, waiting for a dinner that never arrives. The next morning, Charlie fails to show up for his regular job. This uncharacteristic absence triggers alarm bells among his co-workers, who know him as a punctual man. Friends attempt to call Kala, hearing only the mechanical voice of her voicemail greeting. The sudden silence from two people who maintain constant contact with their social circles creates a growing sense of dread. Family members begin driving past the couple's apartment, noting the undisturbed mail and the desperate barking of the trapped animal inside. Realizing the severity of the situation, the families contact the Anderson Police Department to report the couple missing. Law enforcement officers visit the apartment to conduct a welfare check, forcing entry into the residence. They discover Kala's dog locked inside without adequate food or water, a glaring indicator that Kala did not leave voluntarily. Investigators find personal belongings left untouched, including prescription medications and daily essentials. The apartment reveals no signs of a struggle, suggesting the couple vanished outside their home environment. Detectives begin canvassing the neighborhood, asking residents if they witnessed any unusual activity in the days leading up to August 31st. The initial leads yield nothing but empty streets and unanswered questions. Days drag into weeks, plunging the families into an agonizing state of uncertainty. Relatives print hundreds of missing person flyers, taping them to gas station windows and utility poles across the upstate region. They organize grassroots search parties, combing through local parks and roadside ditches in a desperate bid to find any clue. The police escalate the case, entering Kyla and Charlie into national missing persons databases. Despite these widespread efforts, the physical trail ends abruptly at the threshold of their empty apartment. Just as the physical investigation stalls, the situation takes a bizarre and sinister turn in the digital realm. Charlie's Facebook account registers online activity long after his mobile device lost power. The profile begins publishing strange memes, disturbing images, and typed messages claiming the couple eloped. These posts state they left town to start a new life away from their previous obligations. Loved ones recognize the change in tone, noting the improper grammar and hostile phrasing. When family members reply to the posts to demand proof of life, the account sends back aggressive, dismissive responses. The digital footprint becomes a cruel instrument of psychological torture directed at the terrified families. The impersonator monitors the missing person reports, using the online platform to taunt the very people searching for the truth. Relatives realize with absolute certainty that Charlie is not the one pressing the keys. This realization shatters any remaining hope of a voluntary disappearance, replacing it with the chilling conviction that a malicious actor holds the couple. The families take screenshots of every message, forwarding the digital evidence to the baffled detectives. The police pivot their entire strategy, preparing to hunt a faceless predator who feels arrogant enough to mock the justice system from the shadows. Detectives from the Anderson Police Department confront a massive digital roadblock as they attempt to trace the origin of the deceptive online posts. The hostile Facebook messages originate from hidden internet protocol addresses, masked through complex routing software designed to conceal the physical location of the user. Law enforcement officers submit urgent legal requests to major telecommunications corporations seeking the exact geographic coordinates of the recent digital logins. They immediately encounter a rigid bureaucratic wall of corporate privacy policies and administrative red tape. Subpoenas for private digital records require specialized judicial authorization, forcing detectives to draft meticulous affidavits to satisfy strict corporate legal standards. The vital paperwork sits on judicial desks waiting for official signatures, completely stalling the physical search. Every hour lost to this administrative friction allows the unknown perpetrator to solidify his control over the false narrative. The jurisdictional boundaries between municipal police departments and federal internet service providers create an agonizing operational delay. Officers check their computer terminals daily, waiting for the secure electronic data packet that will finally pierce the digital veil. The families stand by helpless as the digital taunting continues without interruption, highlighting a glaring flaw in modern investigative protocols that prioritize corporate privacy over immediate physical danger. While detectives navigate the bureaucratic maze in Anderson, a terrifying reality unfolds 20 miles away in rural Woodruff. The massive 95-acre property sits concealed behind dense southern pines, completely invisible from the nearby county highway. Deep within the overgrown brush, a heavy green steel shipping container bakes under the unforgiving late summer sun. Inside this stifling metal box, Kella Brown remains chained by the neck, secured tightly to the interior structural wall. On the exact day of their arrival, August 31st, Todd Kohlhepp ended Charlie Carver's life in cold blood, removing him permanently right before Kalla's eyes. Kohlhepp utilizes the total physical isolation of the vast acreage to inflict calculated, methodical, psychological torment. He brings Charlie's mobile device into the dark container, scrolling through the desperate text messages sent by Kalla's terrified family. He forces Kalla to watch local news broadcasts on a portable digital device, showing her the ongoing fruitless police search efforts. This continuous exposure to the outside world serves to crush her spirit, demonstrating his absolute control over the narrative and her physical existence. He secures the heavy padlock each night, leaving her in total darkness, surrounded by the deafening, mocking hum of southern cicadas. The stark contrast between her isolated terror and the bustling suburban world just past the tree line creates an unimaginable layer of psychological dread. Back at the police precinct, the stalled investigation finally catches a break when the telecommunications companies fulfill the emergency subpoenas. Detectives meticulously trace the final digital handshakes of Kalla and Charlie's mobile devices before the batteries died. The network data technicians map the signal strength, tracing the last geographic transmission to a solitary rural cell tower located near Woodruff. This specific tower covers a broad, heavily wooded radius spanning several square miles, presenting a daunting and rugged search area. Analysts use complex triangulation formulas to narrow the geographic footprint, isolating a specific sector along the county line. Investigators pull land registry records for every private parcel falling within that concentrated signal zone. They meticulously cross-reference the property deeds against known associates and recent employers of the missing couple. The search algorithm flags a massive 95-acre plot resting precisely in the center of the ping radius. The county tax documents list the registered owner as Todd Kohlhepp. the wealthy real estate agent who employed Culla for the weekend clearing job. This undeniable physical link transforms a baffling missing persons inquiry into a highly targeted criminal hunt, with a definitive name anchoring the investigation. Detectives run Todd Kohlhepp through federal and state criminal databases. The computer terminal returns a chilling revelation that exposes a catastrophic breakdown in the national justice system. The polished, affluent real estate broker possesses a terrifying, violent history hidden beneath his tailored corporate attire. In the year 1986, an Arizona court convicted him for the brutal abduction and severe assault of a 14-year-old girl. He served 14 years in a state facility, yet the parole board granted him early release in the year 2001. He migrated across the country to South Carolina, exploiting a massive communication gap between interstate law enforcement agencies. At the time, background check requirements for professional licensing contained rigid jurisdictional blind spots regarding out-of-state convictions. The South Carolina Real Estate Commission failed to thoroughly cross-reference these distant records, granting a violent predator a legitimate license to operate freely in numerous private homes. This absurd administrative oversight handed Kohlhepp the keys to countless properties, giving him unrestricted access to isolated locations and vulnerable individuals. The system designed to protect the public completely fractured, allowing a documented menace to build a highly respected public persona and gather resources for his atrocities. During the months of September and October 2016, Kohlhepp balances his horrific hidden life with absolute arrogance. He dons expensive suits, drives luxury vehicles, and orchestrates lucrative property transactions across the upstate region. He frequents local restaurants, exchanging pleasantries with the very community members printing flyers for his victims. This arrogant duality showcases a predator convinced of his own superior intellect, viewing the local police force with quiet contempt. Meanwhile, detectives face a steep legal mountain to secure a physical search warrant for the massive Woodruff compound. The United States Constitution demands high probable cause to breach private land, and a single cell phone ping often fails to meet that strict judicial threshold. Investigators cannot legally step foot onto the 95 acres without hard physical evidence or a direct witness statement tying Kohlhepp to a specific crime. The legal loophole forces law enforcement to watch from the perimeter, restricted to observing the chain-link fence from the public highway. This rigid adherence to protocol acts as a temporary shield for a man committing ongoing atrocities just beyond the tree line. The detectives recognize they need a strategic maneuver to pierce the legal barrier without compromising the admissibility of future evidence in a court of law. Desperate for momentum and frustrated by the legal delays, Charlie's frantic family utilizes their own resources to bypass the slow-moving municipal machinery. They hire an independent private investigator to dig into the Woodruff property without the strict constitutional limitations placed on sworn officers. The investigator drives out to the rural stretch of highway, meticulously mapping the perimeter of the chain-link fence topped with barbed wire. He discovers a crucial geographical detail, noting that a secondary access gate sits slightly open, providing a direct sight line into the disturbed earth of the compound. The investigator works in tandem with the local sheriff's department, sharing photographic evidence of suspicious ground alterations and strange equipment near the rear of the property. This independent surveillance provides the exact supplemental evidence required to satisfy the Fourth Amendment requirements. Armed with the cell tower data and the investigator's visual documentation, detectives present a flawless, comprehensive affidavit to a local judge. The judge reviews the extensive documentation and immediately signs the search warrant, legally authorizing a full tactical breach of the grounds. Law enforcement agencies coordinate a massive joint operation, assembling specialized search teams and forensic units to surround the property. The stage is set for a daytime confrontation that will shatter the community and reveal the darkest depths of human deception. On the morning of November 3rd, 2016, a massive convoy of law enforcement vehicles breaches the perimeter of the 95-acre Woodruff compound. The morning air hangs heavy and thick with humidity as tactical teams fan out across the overgrown landscape. The sheer scale of the property forces the units to divide into grid sections, scanning the disturbed red clay and dense pine thickets. Detectives push through the thick underbrush toward the rear of the parcel, navigating past discarded machinery and heavy construction equipment. Suddenly, a sharp, rhythmic, metallic banging shatters the rural silence. The frantic sound leads the search team directly to a massive green shipping container resting deep within a shadowed clearing. A heavy-duty steel padlock secures the thick metal doors, creating an impenetrable fortress of isolation. Officers shout toward the steel structure, demanding to know if anyone is trapped inside. A muffled, desperate voice calls back through the heavy metal walls, sending a shock wave of urgency through the investigative team. Deputies quickly retrieve heavy bolt cutters, straining against the hardened steel of the padlock until it gives way with a sharp snap. The thick doors swing outward, allowing the morning light to pierce the suffocating darkness of the stifling box. Investigators discover Kala Brown chained by the neck, immediately mobilizing medical units to extract her from the grim confinement. The tactical medics stabilize her physical condition, rushing her to a nearby hospital while perimeter units lock down the massive crime scene. Safe within the sterile walls of the medical center, Kala provides a chilling eyewitness account that strips away any lingering mysteries. She details the exact chronological sequence of August 31st, explaining how Todd Kohlhepp ended Charlie Carver's life without hesitation the moment they arrived. Armed with this direct testimony, heavily equipped strike teams converge on Kohlhepp's primary residence located in a manicured suburban neighborhood. The stark contrast between his pristine home and the rural horror compound highlights the terrifying duality of his existence. Police establish a fortified perimeter around the house, deploying armored vehicles and crisis negotiators to secure the street. Kohlhepp steps out of his front door heavily armed, assessing the overwhelming tactical advantage of the surrounding officers. Recognizing the futility of resistance, the arrogant predator surrenders his weapons and submits to the arrest without firing a single shot. Back at the Woodruff property crime scene, technicians map the sprawling acreage, bringing in ground-penetrating radar and heavy excavation machinery. The systematic search of the disturbed earth yields grim results, unearthing the remains of Charlie Carver buried deep beneath the red clay. The soil surrenders more dark secrets as investigators locate the buried bodies of Johnny and Megan Coxey. The forensic analysis reveals Kohlhepp buried the young couple on the property back in December 2015. The local real estate agent's private sanctuary transforms into a sprawling, active excavation site documenting a prolonged reign of terror. Sitting inside a sterile interrogation room, Kohlhepp faces the overwhelming weight of the physical evidence and the surviving witness testimony. Stripped of his polished corporate facade, he waives his constitutional rights and begins to speak with chilling casual detachment. He details the precise logistics of the Woodruff atrocities, recounting the capture and disposal of his victims without a hint of hesitation. He views the investigative process as an opportunity to showcase his perceived intellectual superiority, treating the horrific admissions like a business transaction. The seasoned detectives maintain a stoic composure, meticulously documenting every verified detail to ensure the case remains legally bulletproof. The interrogation takes an unexpected and monumental turn when Kohlhepp pivots away from the Woodruff compound. He casually claims full responsibility for the infamous Superbike Motorsports quadruple tragedy, a devastating local cold case from the year 2003. For 13 years, The sudden loss of 4 lives inside the bustling Spartanburg motorcycle shop remained an unsolved stain on the department. Kohlhepp provides precise non-public details about the weapon used, the layout of the shop, and the exact sequence of events. He explains that a perceived slight by the shop staff triggered his calculated, catastrophic retaliation. This staggering confession resolves a long-standing trauma for the Spartanburg community, exposing Kohlhepp as the most prolific serial offender in South Carolina history. The residents reel from the absolute shock, realizing a trusted business professional had walked among them while carrying the darkest of secrets. To avoid the ultimate penalty of capital punishment, Todd Kohlhepp accepts a comprehensive plea agreement on May 26, 2017. The courtroom operates under high security as the former real estate agent stands before a South Carolina judge to face a monumental reckoning. He officially pleads guilty to 7 counts of taking a human life, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 1 count of first-degree criminal sexual conduct. The strict legal proceedings leave no room for appeals or judicial loopholes, cementing his permanent removal from public society. The presiding judge delivers a crushing sentence, mandating 7 consecutive life terms in a state penitentiary without any possibility of parole. The court adds an additional 60 years to the sentence for the kidnapping and criminal sexual conduct charges, ensuring he will never take another free breath. The legal strategy of the prosecution prioritizes a swift, definitive resolution over a prolonged, agonizing trial process. This calculated judicial move spares the traumatized families the horror of viewing gruesome forensic evidence in an open courtroom. The immense volume of the sentence reflects the sheer magnitude of the systemic failure that allowed his 1986 release. By locking away the perpetrator through an airtight legal document, the state guarantees that his arrogant manipulation of the justice system has finally reached an absolute end. During the emotional sentencing hearing, the families of the victims stand at the podium to deliver powerful impact statements. They confront the man who irreparably shattered their lives, channeling their profound grief into words of unwavering strength and resilience. Kohlhepp stares blankly ahead throughout the proceedings, offering zero genuine remorse and refusing to make eye contact with the grieving relatives. The utter lack of empathy seals his public legacy as a cold, calculating predator devoid of basic human decency. Following the criminal conviction, Kala Brown pursues justice through the civil court system, filing a massive lawsuit against her captor. A judge awards her several $1 million in damages, targeting the extensive financial empire Kohlhepp built over his decade of deception. The Woodruff property, once a concealed fortress of horror, undergoes heavy alteration before being sold on the public real estate market. The state distributes the financial proceeds from the land sale directly to the victims' families to satisfy the civil judgments. While no amount of financial restitution can erase the profound psychological trauma, the systematic dismantling of his wealth serves as a final punitive blow. Today, Todd Kohlhepp resides within the concrete walls of a maximum security South Carolina correctional facility, stripped of his professional status, his wealth, and his freedom. The case stands as a haunting reminder of the critical importance of rigorous judicial oversight, honoring the enduring strength of those who survived the unimaginable darkness